Welcome back to the fifth part of the 13th episode of the India Shining YouTube series. We have been discussing on the national news, and continuing on the national news, we are bringing a couple of more positive news. The foundation loan for the second airport in Delhi, in Noida, called as Noida International Airport in Jewar, has been formally inaugurated by the Prime Minister, and it is going to be done in collaboration with Zurich Airport. We all know that Delhi badly needed a second terminal, but the beauty of this airport is it's just not going to be an terminal which is going to handle passenger. It is going to create a whole lot of ecosystem. There are going to be some special economic zones around it. There's going to be a huge logistic integrated park, multimodal logistic park around it. So the whole idea of a completely new airport means that the country can think 10, 20, 25 years ahead and be able to provide an infrastructure which can substantially increase the opportunities for the hinterland. Now we all know there are huge highways coming up in UP, which is you have the Purvanchal Expressway, which is going to be open shortly. You already had certain Delhi Mathura highway, then you had some more the Trans-Yamuna highway, and a whole lot of things, and all these things are going to converge around the Jewar airport, and therefore the hinterland can substantially benefit. On the same lines, you are also going to see that the second Mumbai airport is going to going to start off. This is going to come up in Navi Mumbai. This is going to be rolled out by Adani Airports Holding, and we hear that State Bank is already in an advanced stage of disbursing 15,000 crores towards this. So both the two key important cities in the country, Delhi and Mumbai, are going to shortly have a second airport, and both of them can substantially increase economic activity around those places. The next item of great significance is Sela Tunnel, which is at 13,000 feet, is in the final stages of completion. This is going to provide all-weather connectivity to the Tawang Valley in Arunachal Pradesh. It's a by-lane tunnel, and if you can see the significance of Tawang, Tawang is a district which is in Arunachal Pradesh, where the current Dalai Lama was actually moved into a monastery when Tibet was occupied by China, and therefore there's always insecurity towards Tawang from China, and therefore there's always been some kind of a border saber rattling, and India was always not adequately protected on those fronts, because Arunachal is a thick forest area and we had very little border infrastructure development. And there has been a great pickup of border development, border infrastructure in the last 10 years. Subsequent successive governments have realized the importance, and the current government has been able to be a little bit more aggressive than the previous governments. Though the thought was conceived from the UPA government, India government has been able to take it forward and put a lot of emphasis. One of the challenges was having an all-weather connectivity to Tawang. So now this Sela Tunnel is going to ensure that predominantly the use will be from a military perspective, but generally any investment that you make into defense or space always has a trickle-down or a collateral benefit to the other general public itself. So having this all-weather connectivity will ensure that the people in Arunachal can feel much closer to the country, because a lot more commerce can happen through this as well. The next, we are moving into trends. We are moved away from most of these interesting national events have been covered. Now we are moving to trends. So the first trend that we are noticing is NTPC has placed an order for around 930,000 tons of biomass pellets. So these biomass pellets will be used for co-firing in power plants. It is expected to significantly improve the air qualities. Now you may wonder how burning some fuel can improve the air quality, because otherwise most of these was burned as stubble. So you see Delhi around this period, around November, it's almost completely covered with smog, and one of the main reasons, apart from construction particles and the emissions from trucks, a significant part of it is because of stubble burning across UP and Haryana and other places, and the air movement kind of becomes stagnant around that time, and therefore there's a lot of smog, and obviously it causes a lot of health related issues. And therefore using these biomass pellets as a fuel for your NTPC firing of by NTPC for firing of its power plant would mean, instead of those stubbles being burnt in the farms, it will come to NTPC, and instead of using coal, NTPC will use these biomass pellets, and thereby significantly reducing the air pollution, because the coal burning to that extent will come down from NTPC. So besides Haryana, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, besides NTPC, Haryana, Punjab and Uttar Pradesh electricity boards are also procuring close to 13 lakh 1,000 tons of biomass pellets for use in their respective thermal power plants. And another tranche of procurement is already being on the bidding stage by NTPC for around 25 lakh tons in progress. So if this actually industry develops very well, there could be a possibility of the stubble burning getting substantially reduced. The next very interesting trend that we are seeing is that Delhi and Tamil Nadu are leading India in the switch to electric cooking with nearly 17% adoption. So Telangana, the rate of adoption has stood at 15%. Kerala and Assam, the rate of adoption has stood at 12%. So Delhi and TN is 17%, Telangana is 15%, Kerala and Assam is at 12%. So the penetration of e-cooking or electric cooking among the urban household has stood at 10.3%, and the same in the rural household has stood at 2.7%, which means still the rural India is either using gas, which I doubt, but predominantly using firewood and the dried cow dung. So the national average for e-cooking, that is the electric cooking, is just around 5%. So if you see the difference between the 10.3 and 2.7, it's also because in urban areas we use a lot of induction cooktops, we use rice cookers, and more predominantly microwave ovens. And therefore, I think this is a very positive trend that's coming. I am not espousing the cost of using microwave for heating, but then yes, definitely electric cooktops over a period of time would definitely be a good alternate, because one of the advantages of electric cooktops is you can preset timings and switch it off over a period of time. So for a working woman or a working family, this could really mean that they're putting much better use to their little time that they have at home. The next trend, which is of great interest, is because internet use has doubled in India in the last 4 years, predominantly because of COVID. In 2020, we had around 8 million users, and in 2021, we have around close to 30 million users. So you can very clearly see just in this 2 years' time, 2020, 1 year time, you are able to see the internet use has almost quadrupled. So that's a very positive thing. And today in 2021, we have nearly 61% of the household using internet, whereas in 2017 we had only 21% of the households using internet. So the penetration of internet and following that, using internet for education, using internet for commerce, using internet for healthcare, using internet for citizen services, definitely will have multifold impact. I think this is a great leveler in bridging the gap between what people in rural India and urban India can get. So that's another positive way. The another very interesting trend that has also come out is that the rural population is also getting aspirational. So Cadbury had come out with a data which says that the rural market has increased faster than the urban market. So the rural sales is nearly 1.5 times higher than the urban sales, the incremental sales. So nearly 50 to 75% of the products available in the urban market is now available in rural market. So Cadbury has also come out with a statement saying that a lot of rural people are beginning to ask for Cadbury Silk, which is one of the premium products. So it's very clear that the rural population is becoming aspirational. It's good. They are also exposed to some of the products in the urban areas, and when they go back to their home in the hinterland, they are looking to consume that. So they are somehow benchmarking their quality of life to that. So that's a very interesting positive shift. The other trend which is very clearly and evident is that there's a 40% increase in the number of people with lung cancer who are non-smokers. So what is very evident is that pollution is beginning to take its toll, and therefore I think it's time that people migrate from pollution creating industries, people migrate from using a fossil fuel based mobility to electric mobility. So there are so many things each citizen can do, but this is something that we need to be careful. The another trend that has also happened is an event that Mumbai railway station has come up with the first pod hotel. So we all know pod hotels was originated from Japan. And so the spot hotels come at a cost of 999 rupees. They are just small structures where you can crawl in, and that offers Wi-Fi, it offers TV, and all at a cost of 999. So for all the transitioning passengers, this could be a very low cost opportunity for them, instead of checking into costly hotels with a lot of benefits. So they just need a place to sleep, catch up some rest, and move on. The next very interesting trend is Indian consumers have started opting for low price products. So this is a direct fallout of what's happened out of COVID, and then more than what's happened out of COVID, there has been a great inflationary impact on products of mass consumption and even food items. So packs or unbranded products of food, grocery, and daily necessities, the consumption has increased. So people are moving away from a branded product to a non-branded product if it's going to provide them a price advantage. So the rising cost of groceries has had an impact on their household budgets. Soaps, milks, food drinks, edible oil, and home cleaning products, the consumers have mostly bought either mass segment brands or unbranded products. And there's also a data which says that sales of lower price packs, like for snacks, instead of a 10 rupees per snack packet, if there's a 5 rupees snack packet, people have started using the 5 rupees snack packet to a larger extent. And there is also a surge in sales of categories like floor cleaners, toilet cleaners, and edible oil to non-branded items. So with respect to edible oil, it could have a health impact because not everyone is genuine, but that's the trend, and that's what we need to watch out for. And on an international side, and one interesting development that has happened is the introduction of foldable shipping containers. Now, this is not something that is new or very innovative that's come off the block now, but this was a concept which was tried and tested some time back, but it didn't make great economic sense. So today, people have suddenly noticed, because there's been a skews on the availability of container. A lot of containers are getting stacked up in one particular country, and also the movement of containers has got restricted, and therefore the international freight rates have gone up. And people have noticed that nearly 25% of the containers that pass through any port are empty containers. And now with the current scenario, when warehouses and ports are clogged, these foldable containers can become a craze, a trend, because it's going to save cost and space. And the final piece of information that we want to leave you in this India Shining series is that Kubota has decided to increase its stake in escorts. Now, Kubota is a Japanese agriculture major, farm implement major, and it's going to pay nearly 9,400 crores to increase its stakes from 53% from 9.9%. Now, while it's increasing its stake from 9.9% to 53%, there's going to be absolutely no dilution of stake by the existing promoters who are Nandas. And why would a Japanese company try to do that? They were so happy. No, I wouldn't say happy. They already had a 10% stake. That's because Japan sees that India's agricultural economy can grow substantially. Use of farm equipment, especially tractors or any automation, is going to be substantially higher. And we're also seeing a substantial shift in use of drones in agricultural practices. So I think the agriculture implement and tool space in Indian business is going to grow, and Kubota's investment in escorts is a sign on that direction. Viewers, thank you so much for staying put with all these episodes of this month's India Shining series YouTube series. We are continuously going to come up with a lot more positive news, which will put up a smile on your face, which will make you feel proud to be an Indian. So till such time we come back with the next episode. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay safe. Thank you so much.